to Brilliance, Michelle Peticolas. Do you have a gift, a calling? Do you want to make a difference in this world? If you're a little hesitant about getting that hand up, I understand. For 48 years, I had no concept of mission or calling or purpose or gift. At the age of 2, I decided I was not enough. I was unwanted. I was unlovable. I was damaged. Now, it turns out that that's not unusual. There was a study of the literature in the London Journal of Primary Care, and they showed that those first 3 to 5 years are really critical for the emotional and mental development of a child. And it turns out the children need more than food, clothing, and shelter. They need love. They need recognition. They need appreciation. They need touch. And if they don't get that, it triggers in them survival response and develop patterns to protect themselves. And that's what happened to me. I became a people pleaser because I needed that attention. My mother was a young mother, and she already had 2 daughters when I was born, so I didn't bond with her. And my father, I did bond with him, but he was in the military. And when I was 2, he was transferred to Japan. And I lost my trust in him, in myself, and in my unique brilliance. I became a people pleaser. And it worked really well for a long time. Teachers love people pleasers. National Honor Society, Phi Beta Kappa, one of 2 graduate students to get my PhD. Then I came to my first job, teaching in a Midwestern college. And guess what? My students needed me to lead, and all I knew how to do was to please. I lost that job. And did I give up my pattern? Oh no. I decided I would only take jobs from employers that needed me more than I needed them. And I undersold my education, my intelligence, and my brilliance, and lived a life of quiet desperation, which it turns out many people in the United States do. And I could have done that for the rest of my life. A medical panel reveals that 1 out of 6 Americans are on some kind of psychiatric drug, primarily tranquilizers or antidepressants. And that doesn't even account for all of us who are self-medicating through drinking, drugs, overeating, computer games, and workaholism. 2 things woke me up. The first one was, my husband left me for another woman. What did I do? I joined a spiritual community where romantic relationships don't matter. It turned out to be one of the best choices I could have made because it reconnected me to my heart, to my feelings, and to my brilliance, to source. So that by the time my current husband showed up, I was ready for love. Well, not quite. Actually, when we left the exalted atmosphere of the retreat, it became quite clear to me that I had some major issues, abandonment issues, that I needed to heal, or I was going to lose this relationship. So I did the work. And just after I did that, the second thing happened. My parents started dying. First my father from Alzheimer's, and then my mother from breast cancer. And I came back home to help her finish up her business before she died. My mother was a toy designer, actually somewhat successful. She sold her designs to major toy companies in New York. Gunned, E.G. Dolls, Hasbro, Sears. Some of you might be old enough to recognize those names. So we're sitting in her studio going through her papers, and I pick up one, a photocopy of one of her designs, and I hand it to her, and I say, "Do you need this anymore?" And she looks at it and she says, "Oh, I guess I'll never finish that project." Her words pierced my heart. In that moment, I got what deadline really meant. I also got a transmission from her, the most important message of her life and mine. Share your brilliance, live your purpose, or die with regret. Now, my mother was the poster child for living your life purpose, sometimes to the neglect of her children. If she could feel regret, where did that leave me? I did not want to live with regret. I made a decision that I was going to live my purpose. And the first thing I did was start making a film about death, to wake people up. It was my mission to wake them up to this precious and impermanent life. I joined hospice, I started doing workshops, but very soon I realized that wake up wasn't enough. Those early childhood patterns are resistant to change. So I became a life transformation coach. Now you might ask, well, why didn't you become a psychotherapist? Aren't they the people who deal with those emotional wounds? Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons. The first reason is speed. Psychotherapists can take years, if not decades. A good coach, maybe 3-6 months. And at 48, I didn't have 10 years, and my relationship was on the line. So I did a coaching course, 3 months. And I'm happy to report that I'm still with that husband 22 years later. Number 2, empowerment. When you're working with a psychotherapist, they're the doctor, you're the patient. You come to them for healing again and again and again. With a coach, you work together as a team, and they give you the tools you need to transform your life, and they're yours forever. Now, number 3, best of both worlds. I've already come with a PhD in sociology and psychology, and I've had training in psychosomatics. I provide the professionalism, the experience, the knowledge of psychotherapists in the modality of coaching. So my new mission is to empower coaches, healers, change makers like you to step into your power by healing the guilt connected with the loss of a significant relationship. I had a client who came to me. She was a coach. She was also a workaholic because she wasn't quite making enough money, and she kept on working harder and harder. And her husband read her the Right Act. He said, "Fix this or I'm leaving." She had 5 children. Now, she came from a psychotherapist, 6 months. She came to me in 3 months. We healed her abandonment with her father. We healed her guilt over the suicide of her husband and helped to set boundaries between her work and her family. And now, she is a high-end 6-figure and more coach. And she only works 2 hours a day. So what about you? How are you doing? How are you stepping into your purpose? Are you sabotaging yourself with self-doubt, with guilt, with regrets? When you are an entrepreneur in business for yourself, you are always in danger of falling down that rabbit hole of self-doubt. The slightest rejection or hesitation can send you to trying to work harder and to get healing and to take more courses in law of attraction seminars. And then maybe you might take a business class or a marketing class, which will send you to more healing work. It's almost like you're on this endless cycle of trying to perfect yourself. I know, I've been there. Would you like to get this healed once and for all? I invite you to have a conversation with me. And I will show you how you are sabotaging your profits, your relationships, and even your health. By not valuing yourself, by not charging enough for your work, for your effort, for your education. I remember when I decided to raise my prices, and I will never go back. I want you to respect your brilliance, your work. I want you to respect yourself, period. But you can't do that if you're full of shame and blame and guilt, and you don't feel you're worthy. Let's have a conversation. I've handed out handouts. Fill out, if you are interested, fill out your name, your phone number, and your email. And I will send you a link to my scheduler. And if you're not quite ready for that, check the box that says you just want to be on my mailing list. And I will send you a link to one of my best Facebook Lives. I leave you with the following question. The question I grappled with after my mother's death. If you were to die tomorrow, would you die without regret? And if the answer is no, well, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I invite you to take that step.